Hello, all you wonderful Private Practice University peoples. How are you? Becky here. And in this concept video, I'm going to talk about something that is very important yet very boring. And that is privacy policy, terms of service or terms of use as it is often called, and a social media policy and what these are and why you need to have them on your website. So before I dive in, a little disclaimer here. I am not an attorney. This is not legal advice. And if you have any questions about these elements of your website, please consult an attorney. Okay, they're actually, in my opinion, though I am not an attorney, pretty straightforward, pretty simple. However, if you have an unusual situation that's not a typical type therapist situation, perhaps maybe mixing therapy and coaching or anything like that, you may want to consult your attorney. Okay. All right. So first one, privacy policy. So this is a statement, and this definition is actually from Wikipedia. So it's actually a legal document in privacy law. Okay, so that is, it's actually part of privacy law, and it discloses some or all the ways that you as a website owner gather, use, disclose, and manage a customer or client's data. All right, and it does fulfill a legal requirement around protecting that data, and therefore that's why you really want to have it on your site. The other thing about it, besides just all the legal stuff, is that Google actually wants you to have one if you are using Google Analytics or Search Console or Google AdWords or any of that stuff. Okay, so it is something that's important to have. And later on in your practice marketing evolution, if you ever end up doing Facebook ads or Google ads or anything like that, they really look for that to make sure that you have it. Okay, so bottom line, this one is all about customer data and protecting that data. Now, as I mentioned, I recommend that you have it on your site. Even if you don't collect any data, some people think, well, I don't have, I'm not building an email list, so I don't really need it. Well, even if you have a contact page where you have a form and people can write that in, you really want to have it. And also, if you have any analytics software, such as Google Analytics, or I'm trying to think of what some of the other ones are. I can't remember the names of them right now. There are some other ones that people use. We pretty much recommend Google Analytics, however, because it's free and it's good. But if you're running that, which you should be, then that is collecting data in the background. Okay, so the way that Google is able to report back to us via Google Analytics, how many visitors we had, how many were repeat visitors versus new visitors, how long they stayed, how many pages they looked at, all that kind of stuff. It's because they're collecting cookie data on visitors who come to your website. And so whether you think consciously that you are proactively collecting data or not, if you're running Google Analytics or any analytics software, you are collecting data. Okay, so this is why you want to have it. The next, and let me just say before I go into this more, at the end of this, I'm going to tell you how we go about creating these. And I'm just going to tell you what we do, but then in the how-to video, we're going to actually show you how we do it. Okay. All right. Terms of service or terms of use. That's the next item, next page on your site that we're going to talk about. This is one that talks about, it basically protects you. So it basically says something like, hey, if you're using this website, then you are agreeing to yada, yada. Okay. So it's basically telling them your visitors, what they must agree to, abide to in order to use your site. Okay. So that's what it's about. So it protects you. And here's the details here for us in this field. It's basically saying, hey, use of this site does not constitute a therapist-client relationship. Okay, so it's really protecting you. Social media policy, that's the third one. And what this is basically in our field, this has become a big deal. A lot of people, a lot of different industries do not have to have a social media policy, but we do because we have this issue of dual relationships and, all this kind of stuff, client confidentiality, pretty much. And so this is a quote from Zur Institute, and they basically say that the ethical implications of social networking are something that we need to deal with. So obviously, if you're out there on Facebook and you get a friend request from a client, you need to be able to handle that. All that kind of stuff. So that's what this is about, the social media policy. And it's really about protecting the client's confidentiality and privacy. Okay, that's what this is about. So you need to have one on your site, or you need to give it to your clients as part of your intake process. The 2014 ACA Code of Ethics added this requirement for counselors with an online presence to distribute a social media policy. So this is something that you should have. Now, where are these placed? Okay, almost always they're all three different pages on your site, and almost always the links to these pages are in the footer of the website. When you have something in the footer, it enables you to have it on each page, and so that's a great place to have it. Also, when it's in the footer, it's not taking valuable real estate on your site that you're really using for marketing and communicating, building relationship with your client. So here's a footer of one of our clients, and here's, at the bottom, there's the privacy policy, terms of service, social media, and technology policy. That's what he calls it. Okay, so they're typically in the footer. And here's how we generate them. And you can just pause the video and write these things down. For privacy policy, there is a free tool, and it's called freeprivacypolicy.com. And I actually know the guys now. I just talked to them last week that created this. I've been using it for like 7 years, but I just talked to these guys last week. But this part of it is free. And so what you do is you're going to end up having basically a set of questions it's going to ask you about your website, your city, your town, your state, whatever. And you fill that out, and then you press a button and it generates this privacy policy for you. You copy it and you put it on your site. And again, we're going to have a how-to show you how to do that. Now, same guys have also then put together a terms of service generator. This is not free, however. This one does cost. It's $47 per one site, or I think if you pay $97, you can generate it for multiple sites. And so obviously we generate them all the time because we do website development, so we've paid the $97. So again, same kind of thing. You fill out information and you press a button, it generates the terms of service for you. You copy that and you put it on your site. Finally, the social media policy. There is a free one. Somebody, Dr. Combs, I forget what her first name, Kelly Combs, maybe? I'm not sure. But you can go to that site. In fact, you could just look up social media policy for therapists, and she's the first one who comes up. And she has offered to give her social media policy away. And apparently there's quite a few therapists who have taken her up on that, and they're using it. And so that's a really good thing to go check out. Okay. So hopefully this is helpful for you to understand these three pieces of, kind of necessary but boring aspects of your website. And as I said, we will have the how-to video to show you actually how to generate these, and pretty much we're going to be talking mostly about the privacy policy in terms of service, but the social media policy, if you go to her site, it's pretty evident. Okay, take care, y'all. Let us know as usual if you have any questions at all on these. Okay, bye-bye.